Hello, everybody. Welcome to podcast number 131. I am not your host. I'm just the guy pushing friggin' buttons right now. But I'm Dexter. We have my brother Tim. We have Weber below me, and we have DB beside me. Welcome aboard. How's everybody doing?
What's up, boys?
Doing great, bud. Glad you're at the helm today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Care to get the week off? Yeah.
So much power.
I already have a record amount of viewers to start within the first minute, so it must be all you guys.
I love it. All of the people that are watching and tuning in, they must be just waiting at 7 o'clock on their phones or devices or TVs, just waiting, right? When does it go live? When does it go live? Here they go, and let's go, showtime.
Yeah. All-star draw and out.
I mean, the notifications from the websites don't help at all. Weber, how you feeling today, buddy? How you feeling?
You had to go there right away, right?
Well, you're the guy sitting there wearing your KC hat, your KC shirts, and I'm the guy over here reaping all the benefits. So how you feeling today?
Well, obviously not very good. I'm trying to put on a brave face with the team running still. Went to bed last night thinking, you know what, we're still got a pretty good team. Wake up this morning and Tyreek is traded. I don't quite understand.
You look a little bit like that KC fan in your picture in the background. That's kind of how you look today.
I feel like Tim.
well, you're a lot larger than Tim, but besides that,
that's what she said.
But I will say, you had to think Tyreek was going to go at some point. They had too many high contracts, and in the NFL, let's be honest, I guarantee whatever that $200 million contract is out there, it's probably only $75 million, and then they restructure it.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm pretty happy to see him out of my division. So I think the Chargers are the team to beat now.
Yeah, clearly, I think they're the best team in the division. All of a sudden, I think Denver takes over number 2. So it's real odd. I just this whole NFL off season has been absolutely nuts. Record amount of quarterbacks, especially elite quarterbacks, changing teams. Wide receivers jumping all over the place, and I don't even think we're done. There's still so much out there.
And then there's D-Bag Brady, who's just like, oh, I'm back. Arisen from the dead.
In all fairness, let's be honest. Tyreek's career is not going to be the same without Mahomes. You have Tua throwing on the ball, and Tua can't get past 30 yards. So he's going to go there to the wastelands, and it's going to be the end of his career. But besides that, you know what? I think you guys, you know what? Andy Reid and your GM has always picked up good talent in the draft at late rounds or some good free agencies. I'm pretty okay. I think KC will find their way with Mahomes.
Tim, you are an expert of cheering for a team that literally ends careers. So I guess you've got some validity in that.
Bye, Devontae. No, keep in mind, though, that Tyreek, the guy catches 11, 12 balls a game, but 8 of them are 8-yard passes, right? And then he takes the 3 deep balls. So maybe that will work for Tua. It kind of gives him that Wes Welker type of service, right? Maybe that does work in their favor for a while. I don't know. But I think the biggest hurt on our team is going to be Travis Kelce, right? Because he's not going to be able to get wide open anymore. And we brought in Juju, which whatever. It sounds like we've got Scantling coming into town this week, so it wouldn't not surprise me if they end up signing him as well. But who knows?
Yeah.
I'm at a crossroads. Do I go back to Brady or do I still stick with Burrows? The bandwagon here.
No, you said Burrows, and you have to go with and be a man about that. That's all.
I know,
but
Brady's back though. He's my boy. So,
but no, Manning was your boy back in the day. Manning was your boy.
Playing better, I'll figure it out.
There you go.
It'll be a new wagon for me to jump on. It's
full Rich Weber. Well done.
I just don't know. I just don't know how anyone could cheer for Brady. And I mean, I guess I can. I get it. He's a phenomenal quarterback. He's done his thing. But holy crap, how much attention do you need? How
maybe
much
we need to
attention
start a 5-pin universe NFL fan affiliation, right? John Greenlee is saying go Browns. You know, like we need to know all the people who's their team.
Yeah.
Right?
There's another thing. The Browns. They picked up Deshaun. I mean, that's real great. I mean, guaranteed money. Obviously, he had to pay some people back. That's another story for another day. And then Odell wants to come back. Like,
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, Odell got his ring, so now he's going for the money, right?
That guy is a special human being too.
Yeah.
Now it sounds like Antonio Brown was talking about his desire to go to Cleveland.
It sounds like you guys are just avoiding the talk about bowling right now and talking about Masters, because this is what our otherwise our pregame opening banter would be.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know that.
I forgot all about that.
Forgot about Masters this last weekend, for Alberta.
It's been a little bit. I'll bring up some stats.
I have to say it was probably the closest race on the guys has ever had, and as long as I've been part of Masters. Great to watch. If you knew where everybody was, because it was all up and down and all that. I have to congratulate Tyler for winning the singles. He absolutely dominated, and super congratulations goes to Tracy Smith. I absolutely think it was 21 or 22 Masters she's made, and she finally gets her bucket list. And she, what did she shoot, like 370, 380 last game?
388 the last game to overtake.
To overtake. That's just like the natural right there. It's pretty cool, right? So congrats to Adam for doing so well. And I know Gary played really well on Sunday, made the team. Rylan played awesome, and Matt, for the guys, he couldn't have no throwaways because he had COVID in January, and he goes and runner to make it. So I know Dex missed out by 16, and then Bradley Tick missed out by 17, and I missed out by 26. Yeah. Absolutely crazy finish, and it was awesome to watch for at least the guys, right? So
yeah, can't forget about Bobby Kite as well.
And Bobby,
having it kind of stolen away from him due to COVID the last time his rookie appearance, kind of had the universe kind of right that wrong, and real proud of him for persevering as well. Definitely sucks. Both you boys ended up falling out. Gino fell out as well. I think he was right in that mix as well going into Sunday. Kudos to Ty. He played incredible the entire time.
3 out of 4 wins, and then the fourth one was a 24 spot, right?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And I put up 9,200 and don't even come close to a single, right? So it's I'm not sure Master Singles is ever going to be in my cards. I seem to be close every year, but Tim usually runs hot. And
there was the year that we had a three-way tie.
Right?
Just no big deal. The Double Crown winner says singles not on his card. So
hey, look at Tracy. It took her 21 years, Weber. So you got some time to keep working.
No, he's already got his title. He doesn't need to. That's the reason why.
Oh, right.
Yeah, let's just. But Bobby, people don't understand. Bobby actually banged out 10.
Yeah,
he banged out 10, not knowing what the ramifications were. Right. So,
wow.
All of a sudden he doesn't maybe doesn't bang out 10. Maybe he doesn't only gets a 30 count. All of a sudden, or maybe a 25 count. All of a sudden Dexter's in, right? So just super close.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Do we have other provinces and people that play too? Or you can flip over to the ladies too and see what they got.
Yeah, I have the ladies up there. Did want to go through that. Absolutely huge finish by Tracy. That's so awesome for her. Good for Bev Magnus decided to come back this year, and really I think she struggled with her confidence for a long time, and come back and plays well and makes it. Bonnie is obviously a staple. Diane is obviously a staple.
Amazing.
Jen Smith is a staple. Heidi is phenomenal. She's played so well over the last decade. So not a big surprise by those names in there. But there's always, when you have these things, there's names that you're still surprised don't make it, even though there's only a limited number of people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. It's different seeing Jen Baker not make a team.
Yeah, she didn't play those middle two as well.
Yeah.
That obviously hurt to not have any throwaways, right?
Yeah. Do you think I'm going to say it, friend of the show, Mike Herbert, probably Bev and Mike working together. Maybe that's the new X factor for Bev is Mike.
Oh, sure it is. Of course it is. Yeah, well, she's played a lot of tournaments too, right? She did
Timmins,
did Regina. She's done all the tournaments, so she's in the game and in the
Yeah.
focus. And Bev can play too. We've seen that.
she's
Absolutely,
great.
yeah.
She's absolutely great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan, I see Sarah saying Wisty made singles. Did he?
Yeah, congratulations to
Yes.
all the Hunters bowlers out there that made it. Wisty.
So is their whole team set there too in Saskatchewan?
Yes.
I don't know, Sarah. Where are the stats for that? If there are stats for that,
If you can't find them, maybe our guest coming on will know where they all are.
yeah.
She might know some of those numbers.
Wait, she looks like she really knows. I can see her in the background.
She's like shaking her head. I don't know.
I think it's under Bowling Saskatchewan Federation Dex.
Well, you could have just said that before when I asked if we knew where the stats were.
Well, I thought you'd be smart enough to figure
How
it out.
about BC? I see Jeff Watts is saying that they've still got a couple left.
BC, Ontario had to do it. Manitoba still has a bunch left, right? I think us in Saskatchewan are the only ones finished right now.
Yeah, Saskatchewan didn't update theirs.
I know Mitch won. He beat out
Jeff Young.
and apparently 8 baggers win, and Jeff missed a spare or something. I don't know how that's going on.
So
but,
Mitch is singles then?
no, they still have a couple more left.
Oh, they
right?
do. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah,
fun to see as the year comes along, right? Of everybody winning and who's at nationals and who's playing singles. It's probably something to take a look at as it goes.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
Always fun to kind of see that consolidated list of who's on each team and all that. I even saw one today. Because we got the youth challenge nationals are in Calgary this week.
Yes, good point.
And had a chance to take a look at a few there. Didn't recognize a whole lot of names on there, to be perfectly honest. A couple of the Albertas and Kira as well, out of Saskatchewan. But definitely good luck to all that crew this week.
I think there's one that
Absolutely.
I recognized was Nicholas Kellaway. Is he Ontario or Quebec maybe? But I've seen him a couple of times in some of the stats and some nationals, I think. So
yeah.
if I was placing somebody, that's probably the guy that I would have looked familiar. But if anybody else knows some big shooters that are coming to U Challenge Nationals, fire them out here right now. We'll give them a shout out. So maybe they're all watching, hey, at U Challenge Nationals right now. Anybody
possible.
watching in the hotels? They're all arriving.
Yeah.
I saw there's a Braxton from PEI, so I'm instantly cheering for that kid.
I see Shauna Peary is coaching, I think.
Yeah,
Northwest.
Northwest.
Yeah, I think she'd be a great fit. We asked her to do it for us because honestly, she's great with the kids, right? And I think it'd be a good mix with Steven. So they asked us for help because we're a host, and I think that's a great fit. So excited for her. Yeah.
All right, well, let's thank some people. We'll do that. But thank you to all our Patreon subscribers. We really do appreciate it. We really can't do this without you. It covers the substantial amount of costs that we actually have to have subscription to do all this fun stuff for you. So thank you to all you guys. Are we doing an all-star draw?
No. We don't know. We don't know if it's available.
I'm assuming we are.
Okay, then.
We're gonna do it. What do we want? What do we want the hashtag to be today?
What about something about Tyreek? Let's do something about Tyreek.
How about someone about U Challenge Nationals?
Okay, all right. Let's
Yeah,
let's be good. Our guest asked us to be better to this week. People are watching.
Well, we got to
so-
promote the game here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Hashtag Youth Nationals.
Or
Youth,
YC 2020? 2022?
Youth Challenge. What do you? Yeah, you come up with it there, Dex.
Yeah. We'll do Youth Challenge 2022. That sounds good. Easy,
But
enough.
not Nationals. Youth Challenge Nationals 2022.
Youth
all
Challenge
one day.
2022.
That's a long one.
Yeah.
Youth Challenge 2022.
Hashtag Youth. Okay, get in there, Weber. Get in there. I know you're first.
I already won one. I'm gonna back out now.
That one. That's the hashtag. That's what we're going with. Awesome. Okay. Thank you to All Star. They support us so well and every week. So thank you so much to them. We'll run their commercial and then we'll bring in our guest. right. So our guest this week, all the way from the beautiful city of Regina, Saskatchewan. Crystal Hiibner.
Hi.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Hey, Crystal.
How you
Hi.
doing?
Good.
Good.
I like how Tim told everyone that I told you guys to be PG tonight.
That,
Just call me right out there already.
well, I mean, welcome to the show. Yeah.
He's not wrong. We probably needed the mom talk.
Little
Someone
slap on
asked.
the wrist. We might have family watching tonight. We might have
Yeah.
some.
Some minds that need to be shaped a little bit, right? No.
So how are things? How's life? How's things
Pretty
in your end
good.
of the world? Good.
Busy. Yeah. We're really busy. Girls keep us really busy with all their activities now too. So
What are they into?
our oldest, Kenley's into swimming. So
Oh, awesome.
she's
Nice.
like wanting to be an Olympic swimmer. So we're doing everything we can to get her there, I guess. Whatever that means.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
That's
doing really
amazing.
well. And then the littlest one is in Sloan. She's in cheerleading. So
Awesome.
plus YBC bowling on Saturdays at the Golden Mile.
They both into bowling too.
Yeah. It's like if you had to choose though right now, I would say they both would choose their other sport, but
For sure.
the competition is definitely coming out in them between
Yeah.
the two.
Wonder
Those
where
are
they get that from.
Not for me. Definitely not.
Those are two pretty demanding sports too, aren't they?
Yeah, like Kenley swims 4 days a week
Crazy.
right now. And then, well, I guess 3 days a week and then 1 day dry land training. So where she does workouts.
Oh, Jesus.
And she's doing all the different swimmings right now too, right?
Yeah. So she's 8 and yeah, she's doing the butterfly. I'm quite amazed that an 8-year-old can get her body out of the water to
Wow.
do the fly. But yeah, she's determined.
Crazy.
And she's already got goals of being an Olympic swimmer at 8 years old.
See, I told you the 16-year-old there. I knew it.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, and cheerleading's fun too. My daughter, my youngest, is a flyer in cheerleading, and it's
Oh, really?
it can get pretty serious. But she's so petite, right? So she just
Yeah.
gets now starting to actually like getting tossed in the air. Like they're 5-6 feet above, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh boy, hope they catch you. So every time it's like, how was your base tonight?
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Making
funny.
sure that I didn't fall
Mom just
anywhere.
came home from cheerleading saying that she got to be the fly for her group. So she was pretty excited that. And I was like, what does that mean for 6-year-olds? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know how high you're getting off the ground here, but
Little balance on top of the hands and holding
Yeah,
it up. Yeah.
she showed us somehow. She managed. So
Super fun. Before we started in all of our banter, we were talking about Saskatchewan and the Masters. Do you have any idea of who's on Masters and what the teams look like and anywhere to find those stats at all?
sure.
That's as confident as I was.
Krista, Mike is singles. Krista Mulhall
Krista.
from PA is our ladies singles. And on the ladies team right now, I know for sure Josie is made the team. I believe Coralie Whitefur made the team. I have not actually seen the last official standings of the ones you pull out, right? Because we bowl 4 tournaments and then you get to
Right.
take 2, or take 1 out, I guess.
Yeah.
And have you played all of them now? So the team would have been teams picked, right?
Teams picked, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all done. Yeah.
Okay. They're not quite 100%. Now, what about the guys' side? Lonnie Akers would have made it.
Yeah, Lonnie, Dennis Zacher, Taylor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I
Oh my
might have
goodness,
seen a little
they
bit.
just told me on Monday.
What about Chad Van Dale? Not Chad Van Dale, but Dallas.
Dallas.
Van Dale?
Dallas, yes,
Dallas.
Dallas.
Yep. Because he had a chance for singles there, and then I think
Oh.
Mike took it like the last.
Brian Askin.
Yes,
Oh.
thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
that's a good team.
Yeah.
And Kevin Clark's coach, I hear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
There you go.
Did you end up playing?
Myself, no, I did not. I chose one or the other. This year, I had it set in my mind probably, pre-pandemic, that I was going to come back and play the Open.
Good choice with it being in Newfoundland too.
Yeah, I mean, it had some sway, but it was definitely, I get a lot of my ladies here that like to ask, when am I playing? When are you coming back? And got the whole, when are you coming out of retirement? And it's like, I'm not really retired. I'm schooling. I just making different choices, right? So
Totally.
How many times a year do you hear that, right?
yeah, like, and it's gotten harder now with kids. Like their weekends are busy too. So we had made a choice that as they get older, it's just going to get busier. So we maybe need to decide on getting our career back a little bit, right? Like for ourselves. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So let's start from the start. How did you get into bowling?
I'm the youngest of three, so definitely my older siblings. It started out, obviously, as I think I've heard many times before, it was the cheapest sport that you can put your family into from the beginning. So I know my parents started as league bowlers themselves. They wanted to just join a fun Tuesday, Wednesday night, and then heard about YBC. So I think they threw my brother in, and then my sister followed suit, and then myself. So I was about 2, 3, probably starting to throw balls. I wanted just to be just like them. Whatever I could do, I was there. So
What bowling center?
Fairhaven in Saskatoon. Yeah, a hunter bowler.
Yeah.
I remember Mike when he was like bantam. I would have been like a senior probably. So yeah.
Didn't he have like big poofy like a fro?
Yeah.
And big nerdy glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just the sweetest little boy.
I got some photos. We need to see that.
I do not have them. But
Yeah.
he has the sweetest family too. So I mean, it was always nice to see them.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. But
Yeah.
I also think that he's one of those guys that you really don't want to piss off either. Like he's a super nice dude, but he's got a backbone, so it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good mix of yeah.
Now, you had said earlier about your family were bowlers as well and had quite some experiences as well.
Yeah, like my parents played master teaching a couple. I think the provincials is the furthest they got. They coached. But my brother was the first one to go to YBC Nationals in 1987. So kind of kept it going. I think it was 11 years my parents went to nationals themselves between my sister and my brother and myself.
Holy cow.
It's a lot of travel.
Yeah, like you look back and I'm like, how in the heck did you manage to follow us around across this country?
Oh, exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. I mean, like here you are getting put into the cheapest sport that you can, and then you kind of screw your parents over by being like, no, you gotta fly me to Quebec.
Yeah. My brother would have been, I think, 10 in 87, and they went to Kitchener, I believe. That was his first travel.
Why? What was his name, Crystal? I'm thinking Jeremy.
Close, Jason.
Okay.
You got the J. Yeah, tall, right? Really hard.
Yeah.
Actually,
but
Jeff
you do a couple of cash tournaments too. Like he's played some big events and stuff. Do you guys remember Jason at all? Adam, maybe you a little bit.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
So very much like Rich. He throws hard, fast with a little bit of rotation.
Yeah.
On it.
Does he get it over the foul line?
Very smooth. Yeah. Yeah.
Like butter.
I haven't seen him bowl though in a while since now I'm in Saskatoon or he's in Saskatoon, I'm in Regina. So we haven't seen him actually on the lane since 2009. I think he was the JOP for nationals there.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Well, now you have to tell him. Everybody tell, brother Jason that we're talking about him on.
He's probably watching, knowing him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he started it. And then I think, don't quote me, he got gold that year. Then he went 2 more times, and my sister has 2 golds and a bronze as well. So
you grew up before you even had a chance to hit your bantams. You already had siblings that were playing at a national championship level, and of course, you sitting there thinking, "I'm going to do this too."
And I'm going to do it better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, I love you guys, but no, definitely being baby, right? Like my sister's 4 years older than me, and my brother's 7, so I was definitely their little sister being tagged along everywhere they went.
Yeah. But you were the little sister that could also bowl too, right? So that's why
Yeah.
you're probably cool too.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the moment that you kind of officially became better than they were?
Oh. Oh, Jeff just asked me this. If my brother's still bold and them, who would he be better than me? Um, I don't really know. I would say definitely in the teenage years, I kind of realized, hey, this is a sport that's not only going to show me the entire country, but it's going to pay for my school, like my university career, and it's going to set me up for whatever else along the way. So, that's probably when I started putting more work into it.
Yeah,
That's awesome that you
Makes
say that
sense.
you came to a point that you recognize that this could take me somewhere and I can do something with it. That's
Yeah.
a big lesson, I think, there, right?
Yeah. My biggest lesson probably came in 94. I had a good little talking to with my mom about attitude and stuff, and it changed very quickly at the age of 10. But
crazy that stuck with you too.
yeah, I did.
Like, I don't remember the scoldings I had as a kid. I
Really?
blocked that shit out.
Yeah, can you talk about that more? Like, what was that lesson, or what sort of things was she saying to you? If you can open up about that, I mean, obviously for a 10-year-old to really listen to what your mom's saying, you're probably looking at her like, "Come on, mom, whatever." But obviously, it was something that sank in and helped you in your career. So, tell us more about that.
It was a humbling experience, I guess. So I was 94, would have been my first year bantam singles. So I just came off 93. We won as a bantam girls team. And you know, that feeling of like, yeah, we did so good. Now I'm going to go singles. I was a brat. Like, really just not a very, stomping. Like, think of a 10-year-old, that attitude, stomping, crying when I didn't hit the middle. A little bit of embarrassment, I should say, for my parents on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she told me that if I continue, then, I could not have spectators, especially them watching. I had to apologize to my coach for my attitude. And so I switched it around. And after that, I think the next year I was like, I'm going out there to have fun. I'm going out there to meet people. I'm going out there to be competitive, but it doesn't mean that if I don't accomplish what I need to accomplish, it doesn't change. I still got to wake up the next day. Right?
Yep.
So now I maybe come off more joking, laughing. I don't show too much of that emotion that I showed at 10 years old.
Yeah, as long as I've known you, I've never seen you get really mad. I've never seen it happen. So, kudos to you for listening. And I mean, but hey, I'm sure 90% of the kids go through the same sort of thing that you did too. But it's just how you react to it. And kudos for you to have it sink in.
And I think that's probably right when it changed, and I bowled then kept going on, like different tournaments, playing, that sort of thing. So yeah, but
it probably indirectly made you a better bowler.
I would like to think so. Like, that's why I think it sticks so much with me, is that moment. So
I don't know. I've had that conversation, I don't know how many times this year, just with Brax. He's got that like pout to him, and when he's out there laughing and smiling, he plays so much better, and he's so competitive, right? And if it's not working, and he took 4 years off, so he's coming back now, and he wants everything to happen immediately. He's playing with JD, who's on absolute fire for his age group. So there's an expectation level that we have to have that talk with him quite often, right? And we've done the same thing. If hey, you want to act like this, number one, we're not going to be here, and number two, we'll walk away and we won't watch you. Right, and all of a sudden it kind of turns around for a little while, but it's just that competitive juice is, I think, very tough.
It's so hard when you're used to being super successful.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have those moments, those are the moments where you need to reel it back in and figure it out. But when you're used to it and you have that expectation of being that successful, it's hard to be mature about it as a kid, right? We learn.
Yeah.
I absolutely got that talking to as well. I mean, I was a tantrum kid and fight with my brother if I go in pre-bowl. And I remember a couple times my mom coming home and said, "Never, ever again. You will never be. I will not." And I don't think she took us for a good few weeks. My dad had to take us, or we had to. It was just like, you can't act like that at the bowling center.
Yeah.
I know my mom tried.
Yeah,
that came talk with
your
me.
First year of YBC Nationals. So talk us through your first experience going to Nationals as a YBC. Was that fun?
Oh yeah, like 93, I was 9. Went to Hamilton, billeted, which kids nowadays don't know what that is.
Right.
Yep.
Now looking back, I don't know if I could send 8-year-old Kenley to a swimming competition and be billeted with people we don't know. So
crazy, right? I wouldn't either.
Yeah, society has sure changed. That's for sure.
Just a bit. So yeah, went there. I was billeted with at the time like Lindsay Berg and Colin Dretzky Bain now. And I remember sitting there just super excited and looking over at the two of them, and they are bawling. Sorry, lady, because they're leaving and you're going with strangers. And in my mind, I was just so pumped to be going away from like mom and dad, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we had such a great time, like bowling. Oh, did you hear that? Oh my God.
Yo-yos fell.
There goes the cheerleading's happening.
So I had such a great experience there that you want to keep going from it, right? You want the next thing that can come your way.
And then you kept having success throughout the YBC years. Any more nationals or any more youth challenge or 4 steps obviously had some more success. What were some of the highlights of the youth years?
I would say definitely I would have been 1999 would have been probably one of the most memorable. I got to play with my sister that year. It would have been her last year senior and my first year senior. On there was also the 2 Boltons, Robin and Coral Bolton, now married names, Nichols and Watt. So I got to play with them. And then we called her our adopted sister, which was Julie. And that year, Julie and I received our Triple Crown. And we just played amazing as a team. I don't know, it felt good. I remember turning around and seeing our parents wearing these like Burger King crowns. We didn't understand what it meant, but they had 3 crowns on top of their head to represent that we made the Triple Crown. So,
and that's 3 gold medals at nationals. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's 3 gold medals on a team. So that would have been your bantam, junior, and senior team.
Correct. Nice. And is that it says here 5-time 4-step gold medalist?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
It was
That's
incredible.
Yeah.
I still remember coaching a couple teams after my YBC. Pretty much right out of YBC, I coached a few teams. And I vividly remember getting the booklet because everybody got the booklet at the start of it all. And I would purposely show the kids that I was coaching your name. Because it was blasted right in there.
Yeah.
There's one other gentleman, I think, in the 10-pin side that went crazy as well. And, just try to instill like this is where you could be if you put the time, put the effort in, right? So I definitely use yourself as an example of excellence.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the accomplishment of it until you see it now, like looking back.
It's still very rare. Like, how many are there? Like, there's not that many.
No.
Well, it'll be difficult more too, right? Because it's not the 5 teams.
Sure.
Doubles.
Yeah.
Less players can go now, right?
My ultimate goal was always to be like Connie Ward because she was back of the book. Connie Ward, in my mind, that's who I looked. She had the double Triple Crown, which was team and singles.
Mm-hmm.
That's
crazy. And I do believe she's the only one that still ever had it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, what did Ty go with?
Ty had the singles, I think.
All 3?
I actually don't know if he actually got. I think he just got the Triple Crown, including teams.
Okay.
Combination. I don't think he got the singles.
And he would have had an opportunity to win one more.
The senior singles.
But COVID
Correct.
took it away.
Yeah. They don't post all those results or those the achievements like that anymore on their website. But it honestly, I do agree with Adam. We look back. I remember '98 flipping through, and it was like It's like, who's this Crystal Orenchuk, right? And it's totally crazy about the Carl Malcolmson scholarship recipient. I mean, 3 times, right? And for those people who don't know out there, it's rare to win one, but winning 3 of them is quite something, right?
What's the criteria for that?
Back then, I believe it's changed. I think then it was most medals as well as winning at the time, but I can't be certain. Like it's not based on average or anything that. I believe it was just basically hardware.
Okay.
Fair.
I do remember always being in competition. I joke with Lee Escott from Newfoundland, right? Because it would be flipping between him and I, depending on. And he always had one extra, like bronze or silver, something like that, that just added to his hardware.
He kept taking the golds away from us in Alberta.
Yes.
I've played against him many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tournament is now, that scholarship is now based on highest average at the tournament. But
at nationals.
Yeah.
Man, how it's all changed. Wow.
Yeah, because I think I was on the junior team when my first time I won it. So being a junior and winning it would be kind of probably rare now, right? When you have senior bowlers that can probably average a lot higher.
It's only eligible to senior bowlers now.
There you go. Okay. So I know they've changed it.
That's a shame too, really.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I totally agree. If the junior beats the seniors, then good for him.
I don't know if
it's
such an easy way to do an average, to make it as an average. I do like the medal aspect, because I don't know, it builds that player up, right? Where you can just have one good nationals, right? Where the medal aspect, you had to be good at many nationals, right? I like that.
I agree and I disagree at the same time. I understand the average thing too, just because not every. With the average, you're not relying on your teammates playing extremely well as well. You're not getting punished for maybe having somebody that's a weaker teammate, right? So I understand it's an individual achievement, and that's the only really way of.
But it's an individual achievement while you're on a team, though. So is that?
I do agree, but I think everybody should have at least an equal opportunity.
Yeah, I see both ways.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah.
I mean, you're not taking away from me because I already went to university on it, so they can't. All money ain't coming back now.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
It's mine.
And then how about some of the youth challenge stuff? You just started playing there.
Yeah.
Were they Coke Classics at the time, or you're a little bit younger than that here now?
Okay, so I think that's when you used to fax in your scores. Is that when?
Yeah.
No.
It was.
Didn't they used to?
It was.
They used to. Yeah.
Yeah. My first one was 1999. Yeah, was my first nationals.
So was that? Well, I mean, it might have been different in Saskatchewan versus Alberta, but how did you get selected from out of your province to go to nationals? Was it at a provincial in the top 3, or how did that?
Yeah, same way as it is now. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I do see it now from not a parent side, but I used to be the youth challenge coordinator for our R5. And I'd have a lot of parents saying, like, how is that fair that our kids went to provincials, won gold, but now they're not going to nationals? And so now I'm like, whoa, I do see that. But when I was bowling, you're like, I'm going to nationals, even though your team won gold or not. It's a different format, right?
Basically, build an all-star team.
You're building an all-star team, yeah.
You're building it for sure.
And I agree with that too. I don't know. As a kid, I was always like, yeah, we should go as a team because I think that chemistry is really important.
Agreed.
And that's what makes the team so good. So I always thought that too, but I also completely understand the all-star.
But then I would never have met Jeff.
And then, and with it being a mixed team at nationals, how do you cut a team in half? Right, because if you're gonna take half a men's team and half a ladies team, how do you do that too?
Yeah.
So,
do you imagine doing that in the open, guys? There's no team goes to nationals. It's just going to be an all-star team of men's, ladies mixed.
So that'd be you mean like Winnipeg and Saskatchewan? Quebec.
Yeah,
That's how
top
they do it,
6 out of the province at provincial at Bonnie Doon. You're going to throw an all-star team to go to nationals,
Yeah.
and then the next 3 will be part of the mixed team.
But eventually, the money's going to start running out, where it's going to be almost forced upon. Right at some point that's probably going to happen, and now that the cash circuit's really taking off, I think there's going to be some adjustments to both the Open and Masters, to be perfectly honest.
Maybe.
Yeah, it'll depend on the province. As long as we continue to get casino monies
and funding from the government,
right.
yeah.
It'll still run away.
For the foreseeable future, Alberta won't change, I don't think. But
No,
I can see other provinces right now are to user pay. That definitely come in effect for sure.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
that's why the other provinces do that, because it just costs more money for them to send the zone to national.
And it's just a different format. I mean,
Manitoba's isn't like this permanently. It's just like that as they're re-entering the C5 realm.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, Winnipeg. Yeah,
And that's just their mixed team, right? So then can't take away all their ladies and their men, right?
I think it's just a singles qualifying this year, to be honest with you.
it's just singles and a mixed team, if I remember right. Yeah,
Going to nationals.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
they're only doing one provincial event. They're not doing. There's no zone round that any of them had.
Correct.
right. And they're not sending a men's team, and they're not sending a ladies team, if I remember.
Just a mixed team.
Correct.
Top
Just a
3.
mixed.
Oh,
So-
okay. Top 3 and 3. That's it.
Yeah.
But I said, Tim, I've told you that before. I'd really like an opportunity to play with some really top men in our province, like in Saskatchewan. I would love that opportunity. It'd be just a different, I don't know.
It'd be totally different. Yeah. You just, unfortunately, I think you're, from an outsider looking in, you're too good to drop down to the mixed team most times. So you're always,
You're ultimately always wanting the top. You don't
Yes.
shoot mixed. But if I had to have like the switch, and I could potentially make mixed team with some pretty amazing men and women, not that I don't know, it'd just be a different dynamic.
So for those people that are out there, there was an idea from I don't know if it was from a board or maybe just people talking out in Saskatchewan, was, can we qualify? Does the first qualifier or the first qualifiers have to make ladies and men's teams, or can we make the top 3 be a mixed team from men's and ladies, and then the rest of 6 from 4 to 9 be on a men's and ladies team?
Ultimately, I don't see why not. In all honesty, especially since, I mean, Winnipeg and Manitoba are basically doing that as it is.
Yeah. Isn't it up to the province right now of how they qualify their teams to send them to nationals?
It is.
But then it affects nationals, right? Because then nationals, if you're on the mixed team, you really can't. You can play them singles.
You can't play singles.
Forfeiting singles then.
Right. That's correct.
Yeah.
You're right, Crystal. Yeah, I think that's what we talked about, because mixed and singles play at the same time at nationals, and men lady play at the same time.
Yes, you can.
But
do
if it
mixed
became
and singles.
Canadian wide, then it would change. No.
Have you heard about the 5-pin pro league or the 5-pin?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I love even Masters, right? To come out with a mixed team. Oh, I don't know. It'd just be.
Yeah.
See,
this year I am in full support of a Masters.
There never has been a Masters mixed team. It's not like that's funding, no.
No, but I think it's so big to begin with, right? Because you have teaching, you have seniors, right? The tournament itself is big.
It's a huge event, yeah.
But it'd be cool for tournament Masters to have a mixed team.
Yeah, it would be, right?
But the hard part is like there's so many provinces that even have a hard time finding men, not so much, but finding 9 ladies to qualify is not always,
I guess,
easy.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where when I had thought of the change in the mixed teams, or not mixed teams, but from the ladies to the mixed, switching that all around, was because we had very little women turning out. And then what was happening is that we'd have 5 women come out, and then we're sacrificing the 5 women to make a mixed team so we don't hurt the men. So it was always, we were concentrating on not hurting the men's division, but yet the women were suffering. If that, Why? Why was it always the women having to take the hit and choose that? Rather than pulling another lady from another zone or whatever it may be, we chose to always cut 2 women and make a mixed team.
See,
Yeah, that's interesting because I know other provinces do allow pulling from other zones. I don't know why that.
yeah. So
And
we
they
allowed.
do,
Oh, crazy. Yeah,
but
I'm not
choice.
choice. So
Hmm.
who has that choice? I mean, I wouldn't want to be that person to lock 2 bowlers out and be like, "Thanks for showing up."
Right.
I would probably encourage to bring a lady in from somewhere else.
I always, it's always better to get more people involved. Always.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So you're saying would you want to play a mixed team with Jeff?
I already played a mixed team with Jeff twice.
Okay, and did you guys win?
Did we win? Did we win, Jeff?
No,
That
so,
sounds
okay.
bitter.
No.
all right. So
With New Challenge, when going back, that was the first time him and I met. We got silver that year.
Okay.
And then we played randomly. We got to play again in 2011 at Open and bronze that time. So
Yeah, we haven't won an event with him either. Hey, Dex?
That's true. It's very valid.
Hey, but in all fairness, I think I did talk to Jeff.
There's a
and he
reason
men-
she's on
and-
podcast
and
first.
and he mentioned that as soon as her and Crystal got together, his bowling
Hey.
went down his head.
PG, PG, Tim. PG.
I didn't say the exact words. I just paraphrased it. Yeah.
Yeah. He knew you were gonna say that. He's like, you better warn him in advance.
Oh, you know what? You yeah, exactly. You already gave the disclaimer. I wasn't gonna do it. Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I obviously I played one mixed team. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't the same. But I know there's a lot of ladies out there who like to play mixed team because it's a different atmosphere, right? So, yeah.
Pro League. You guys ever talk about the Pro League? I mean, you're playing a lot when the last team picked, or is there talk about you playing, or Jeff want to play? What's that?
I never. No, I don't. I had just heard about it, but I think the team was already formed.
Right,
Oh.
but maybe is there going to be a second team, or maybe let's
I
start
don't
some.
know.
You know, maybe there needs some changes. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Don't want to
Yeah.
stir it
yeah.
up. But
So, yeah,
Oh,
Regina needs another lady in there. That's for sure.
Regina
Right.
has some really strong ladies. I think we're just all busy.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of.
fair.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you need deep rosters so you can come in and out, week to week type thing, right?
Yeah.
And then with the possible format change for next year, right? You're going to need that deeper, team anyways.
Totally.
yeah, and hopefully maybe there's a limitation to match days too, so you don't maybe have 10 match days. Maybe there's some schedule format, but yeah. It'd be great to again, just like you said, getting more people to play and be part of that experience gets people to, do their dreams or play with a mixed team that they wouldn't normally get the opportunity to play with.
That's true.
So then, as you shifted into the adult sort of ranks, what sort of came first? Actually, we'll get to it later, but actually, let's do it now. Is cash tournaments when you were 11 years old? You played the KG.
Mm-hmm.
That's so young. That's awesome. I love it.
Again, older siblings. I think what happened was that mom just put all 3 of us in, or I always say mom, but it's probably mom and dad. And I just got a taste for it. I don't know. Just if I could give to any young bowler's parent that is in an opportunity to play well or learn, that is the way to go. And you learn some really bad things, and you also learn some really good things.
Agreed. I feel like as time has gone on, those really bad things have started to
Go away.
dissipate. Yeah.
I just said
Yes.
that this year after the
Mhm.
classic. When I seen like Kieran, our young YBC kid here, and I was going, oh my gosh, I hope people have like just a little bit of awareness of who's around and how you behave and how you act, because you just never know who's watching you. And that was me. I was that kid watching in the stands for a long time, picking up things about my mentors.
But at least you were 11 when this started, and not 10. You already had the talk.
Cool. That's probably why she entered me, is because my attitude changed.
Yeah, for sure. Totally.
You remember any time, like, or look back on who you might have played with, or some of those people that were around that you sort of like, ooh, Bruce Mortar playing, or like
Ryan Jarvis loves to always just bring back a memory of me beating him on the consolation side at the age of like 12, I think he said. And he just loves telling this story. I don't remember it except for some bald guy on the lanes that I played. I have very little memory of that. But then I think it was one of the Edmonton tournaments, Heritage maybe. I can't remember. And I bowled with like Mark Jackson, Harvey. It was a very vocal.
The two most calm players.
They're very calm, yeah. So I think I was like 14, and my mom going, "Oh no!" Like picking ball returns, like punching walls. I mean, you don't see that very often anymore, which is great.
Yeah,
I didn't pick that up, and I do remember Harvey apologizing afterwards.
He's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
He absolutely is. But he just quit smoking, and he said his attitude's been way better since.
Oh, really? Looking back, and I'm like, that's just competitiveness. That's somebody that really wants to win and do well, and they don't handle the emotion well. It comes out, I guess, differently.
When you come from a hockey background, where if you're angry and frustrated, you just slam somebody into the boards. Moving into something like this is tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I remember the first time I met Harvey. It was at my first Masters in Fraser, and all I saw was Harvey absolutely losing his shit on something, and I looked over and I was like, I'm going to stay the hell away from that guy. He absolutely intimidates me, right? And then I got to know Harvey about really decently well 5 or 6 years later, and I was like, oh, that's just Harvey, right? But his stare when he's looking at somebody and he's upset, that stare, I just want to crawl in a hole. Like, I just want to hide, right? It's intimidating.
It was more accepted back then until it wasn't any longer. But it was just sort of, you were able to get upset. You were able to kick things. You didn't break anything. You just kicked it.
Yeah.
Right? You had to smash two balls together. I mean, it didn't do any harm except for your own knuckles.
I think ultimately there's been a giant culture change in the game, and I think it's still changing, and I think it's still getting better. But I think it has to be the elite level players, like right at the very top of it, acting professionally and respectfully. And once you have those people doing it, then it slowly starts dissipating, and the YBC kids notice and stop doing stuff like that. It's when you have those high elite level players that are doing it that it sticks. So I think that culture has changed dramatically. You don't see a lot of.
I feel like we got a lecture. There was a one point in time in Edmonton that there were some tournaments, and maybe it was even an open qualifying, and we put a hard stop to any sort of attitude, or maybe it was a TPC or Rose Bowl or something.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really hard line stop on no attitude. And right from then, I think there was even some warnings, or maybe even it's been a disqualification in a qualifying that it was like, okay, it's time to shift. And then that slowly started to shift and has gotten a lot better. But it took a hard line before it got better.
I think you're right. I think, Daryl, I think we did something that one time. But also, I think Wednesday night match closing down, that was a huge issue, right? And then that wasn't feeding anything. I might have the wrong take here. I really, really enjoyed seeing people's personalities come out, maybe not aggressively or hitting things, but I see that our bowling, we've kind of, I don't know, our bowlers are kind of stale. Like, it looks like if you don't see that emotion on, like, made for television, like a Pete Weber or something like that. We don't have that, but I'm not agreeing with the abusive stuff and acting out. But when we stopped that, I think we lost a lot of personality in a way, and I figure a way to bring that back.
It's just different personality. I mean, you could still be emotional and you could still be frustrated. You could still show frustration. You could still show elation. You could still show all of that. It's just more productive ways of doing it. we've talked about it a few times, but you look at like Colton Uswa, for example. I mean,
yeah.
that kid plays with a ton of emotion, but it's positive and it's not disrespectful and he's not slamming things. And when he's upset, he's upset. When he's happy, he's happy. But
did anybody see Spider Monkey's TikTok reel?
Yeah.
Tyson.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
You know,
it's good emotion, and that's I think it's good that people are now, like you said, Tim, his personality's coming out again from cheering and positive emotion. Whereas before it was negative emotion, and I think that's the important message there is positive emotion is absolutely acceptable.
When I bowled though with them, it's not like I took it like they were doing it to me.
No, 100%.
Right? Like I knew it was like doing it to. I mean, found it funny at times. Hey,
but Mike Herbert, I still find hilarious
every time.
Regina. I know, like there's something, and I'm not singling on Mike. This in general, there was something growing up where I saw somebody have a train wreck, and it was nothing but like excitement to see. I don't know why. I just liked seeing the train wreck. Right?
There was lots,
and you know, maybe a sick sadistic Tim. We don't get to see that anymore. And there's a little portion of me when I saw Mike get a little bit upset in Regina. I had a little giddiness in me because I was like, I haven't seen this in forever. It's funny, and maybe it's not funny for the person involved, but it's just funny to see. Just funny to see because I've been there, and I know everybody's laughing at me, but you know, at that time when I'm blowing up, it feels awfully good, right? And
I think, but even Mike is like super respectful. There's a reason why that guy bashed himself in the head rather than hitting anything on the lanes.
Yeah,
we just gotta keep a camera on him at all times, and we could sell it.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a couple things that end up happening. A lot of those guys are just out of the sport now, right?
Yeah.
So that's half it. So there's just more of a maturity with this sport. But we discussed this a few times at major tournaments when those players end up showing that type of frustration, their opponents pick up on that, and actually it feeds them, right? So I think, you know, as our so-called professional game is getting to another level, I think that professionalism of the players have to get to that level at the same time, because the last thing you can do is feed your opponent anything more.
Yeah,
100%.
You're right there. Yeah, I do agree.
Sorry, Tim, say that again.
It's PG. I don't want to really tell you how I feel.
Okay.
We'll go back and make that into a sound bite.
Look, Adam, I sent it in private chat just because I know Crystal's gone. So
thank you.
That's fair. I earned that.
But is that? I mean, you guys can speak, and any of you too, in your match play, and you're on a Sunday or whatever in a big match. You pick up on somebody's negative emotion, like they're down on themselves and they're doing this, and I'm gonna pounce right now. I got that. I'm gonna kick you when you're down.
It's go time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and pick. I'm not trying to pick on the guy, but the year I won TPC in 2010, I faced Mike Herbert twice, and I had no idea. I faced him on both sides. I had no idea who this guy was, and I faced him in and by the fourth frame, he was losing his mind and and I was just like, I've got him. Like in my head, I was instantly like, no, I've won this match already. And then I got to face him on the second side, on the B side, and I had already beat him once on the A side, so I already had that confidence from it. So the second I see it, it's great. My favorite moment in league bowling ever, I was sparring on a Tuesday night, and I went in, and this was when they had you could play 2 games against them, and anybody could face anybody. It was really strange. But is it Jim Frozen? Tim Frozy. Jim Frozy. Again, I didn't really know who this guy was, but I was facing him, and it was the first ball of the night. He goes up, puts it in the left pocket, leaves a corner, boots every ball off the rack. The very first ball. I was like, this is hilarious, and I've won. Instantly.
Nothing feels better when you're. I mean, singles you can see it, but honestly, when you play teams, if somebody's like blowing up on a team, it really affects the team, right? And so it's interesting to watch that because in a way, I know there's going to be usually a lot more internal fighting. And we've had that on our team with one individual, and he hasn't played since. But it's
Harvey
it's
and I
crazy.
actually had a good chat about him on the weekend, actually.
Oh yeah,
About that experience, yeah.
But that's important though for guys like out there that are watching or knowing this, that your emotions, whatever you're doing, and if it's a negative emotion, then people are picking up on that and saying, "I'm going to take you to town now."
Yeah.
Right. Don't let them see that. Right. That's the whole boxing analogy of the jabs versus the uppercuts.
Yeah. Now, that's the one thing that's kind of missing from the 5-pin Pro League, right? Is that direct head to head, you can actually your team see the emotion, especially the negative emotion of your opponent, because the whole team usually feeds on it at that point. Or all of a sudden, one guy will like kind of speak up. All right, guys, let's go. Let's now's our time to pounce, right? Because usually that negativity goes down the line, and this is your opportunity to go.
You can sometimes feel it though. I mean, you can feel if there's double punch up top, then you can be like, okay, that's a run the strike. Let's go jump on him, right? And you can get it done early. And there's the subtle ways of getting that mental game.
But if a guy goes out there and plows with a smile on his face and goes cleans 15, totally different than a guy going to smack something.
Yeah, big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you do with a guy who rips out 4 3-pins in a game? Have you seen that before?
You sub him out.
You sub him out. Okay.
It was only 3.
You weren't there to help.
Yeah.
So how about this? I mean, part of this, Crystal, for you is when you would play, opponents. Did you know that you getting that mental edge, whether they're showing negative emotion, or on the same line is when you're playing a man or a male in a match? Did you have that opportunity to, take advantage of that because that they don't want to lose to a girl, lose to a lady? You know what I mean?
Yes. Why do we have that mentality though?
Exactly. Why? But
why
I mean, it's real though, and it exists, right?
Why is it that a man, when they lose to a woman, it becomes, oh, you lost to a girl? So I think
I honestly have no idea.
For me, is I never viewed my opponent as man or woman. It was a bowler. Not a man, woman, didn't care. You're a bowler. And ultimately, my opponent was myself, because I can't control what that person does. I can only control what I do. And I got to believe in myself. And so.
But what about, did you know that this guy doesn't like to play women? He's not going to want to lose to me, or doesn't like to lose to me. So I'm going to kick his ass.
Well, but for me, though, I think if I thought that way, then I would myself fail. So I needed to just play my own game. Okay. But you do notice when somebody likes you to go first. Somebody wants you to go after them. They want to throw the first shot. You notice when they get mad, right? You do notice all that, but I got to think about myself. I know that sounds, I don't know, selfish.
The mentality is perfect.
So
100%.
So here's a question. I'll say this in maybe not in adults, but in YBC, with you, I guess, being put on in spotlight, I guess, with all your accolades and stuff. I know I'm comparing you to Bruce, but when Bruce played, right, people just had an aura about Bruce where people were like, that's Bruce Mortar. Did you have the same kind of effect in YBC? It's like, because you're up in lights, you're winning all these things. That's Crystal Hiibner, right?
I don't know. I don't know if I felt it or not, or was it because I was a female? I don't know if you got it as much as a male would get it. Sometimes it's looked upon as that woman is a bitch. Not competitive or aggressive, right? Like,
language.
I'm sure they've heard worse, but it's viewed so differently when it comes across from a woman's perspective than from a man. And that was what I struggled with a lot, was don't look at me as a woman. I am just a bowler. So I have the same competitive drive as a male.
Totally.
I think that's great because you know, in a way, put me in my place a little bit, which I'd like, because don't think of me as a woman and don't think of your opponent as a woman. I'm a bowler. So if you're going to start thinking that I don't want to lose to you because you're a woman, then you're already fucked. Pardon my language, but you're already bad. So you got to think of me as a bowler. So if you want to be competitive, I'm not anything other than a competitive bowler.
Yes. not
Right.
a competitive female bowl. And don't get me wrong, I want women to succeed, and that's the other thing is it's really hard to get women to rally around women as well. In anything in life, it always seems like we're trying not one up one another, but let's just be as one. like
Yeah.
support each other, give each other. I came from a strong community that was behind me at Fairhaven we rallied behind all of us growing up. We all wanted it because we knew that if one of us bowled well, we were all going to bowl well. Right? I'm sure on a team you can notice that when the whole team is just gelling, everyone's going to play their best.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's certainly what happened to you when you were in, the adults and started playing the Open. And then you have the dynasty of the group of ladies that started going. The whole lot of you just kept on pushing and kept setting new boundaries. So, talk about a little bit of your Open first early days of making the first teams of Opens and who those have been with, or who some of the idols you would have looked up to in qualifying stages there.
My first Open, I made mixed team. And it was probably the best thing, not for me, but at that moment, I remember the feeling of, oh, I didn't make ladies. Okay, now what? Look at the ladies. Oh, Alyssa Spark and Coral Bolton. Wow. Okay, we got this. This is going to be a fun time. And it was a fun time. And I mean fun as we played well as there's 3 strong women on that team at nationals, which now you hear I hear quite a bit. I don't know about anywhere else, but you hear men going, well, the men have to carry on the mixed team. The women aren't that strong.
It was just brought up this weekend. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that Gatineau?
Yeah, that was Gatineau. Yeah. So you hear that, and I'm going, no, you don't need it. You just, in a team, yeah, you want to be, I don't know. I think you always just need someone that's going to expand their average, go throw way out to here. And then you need everyone else to just maintain average, no matter man or woman. So that year, we definitely showed that don't necessarily need the man.
There's so many super strong ladies that make the mixed team so strong. The hardest thing that we have is depth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of zones that just don't have enough ladies that are. I mean, you have some zones in Alberta where you're having some men, but our North Zone has a couple of ladies that make it that are 170 average. And and that's great. That's great. I don't have a problem with that at all, but that's where that gets a little bit tougher. But you get the strong ladies on there. You don't have to carry them. If I'm only on a team with 100%. Yeah. It's just a matter of how much depth you have in a zone, I think, is the hard part.
Yeah.
To be disrespectful in any sort of way.
I played one mixed team, and I can't tell you how excited I was to play with Heidi. Because I looked at her as she can play, right? And I was and to be honest with you, I think at one point they put me in anchor, and then I wasn't playing well enough, so they moved me up, and I said, put Heidi anchor.
Absolutely.
That girl hits the middle. She can play. She can, she has ice in her veins a lot of the time. She hits the middle. 100%. She throws the shot, and I was it was super exciting to play with her, right? And it was awesome. Yeah, it was good. It just, you have those ladies out there that are just dynamite, regardless of gender, right?
Totally.
That's where I think having your idea there of the high end mixed teams would be a complete game changer around the country, right? Could there be a specific event that could be created for something like that? Not necessarily a Masters or an Open, right? Just a single cash event somewhere, right? I think it would do really well.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I get to play on the mixed team this year for the Open, and I'm super excited. Our team's great, and our ladies are fantastic, and the men and the ladies all have the same sense of humor, so
that makes it better too.
And my dad's the coach, and he's gonna learn a lot of terrible shit about
Yeah. That was probably the best year. Would have been my rookie year out.
And you were Rookie of the Year. Tim, you got the stats handy of that year for 2004 C5 Nationals? Let's see what Crystal did for
Pull it
us.
up here. Yeah.
Rookie of the Year of the Nationals. You remember what your records or something might have been there, Crystal?
No.
Oh, you know what? That one doesn't have any stats to it. It just has.
I do think it was in the high 270s. I think, but I don't have that. But I remember that feeling of coming off of a great team going into Masters then.
Yeah.
And that was Masters singles. And I remember that feeling that I was like, I'm carrying this forward.
Totally.
And yeah.
Amazing
And
how
how
that
did-
momentum
and you-
works.
And you did
And I did, yeah.
continue
Yeah.
that. So that's a pretty amazing year for yourself there.
It was, yeah. It was a great rookie year.
Yeah, Masters obviously playing Nationals. Who would you compete against there? Do you remember?
Yeah, I got to play against back of the book Connie Ward, which I was very excited to finally meet her. You know, 19-year-old me, as Adam, you were saying, like for my own name, I got to go and meet that lady, and I was very excited. Helene, I beat her in the final. That's who I played.
Wow.
I enjoyed my Masters very much. 19 in Newfoundland, I did. We had a good time, but
That's
I
crazy.
had to play against some great ladies.
Yeah.
As a rookie, that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, right.
You had Sandy Anderson there.
Yeah.
Sandy Way, Karina Hogan, Yvette McClellan, who's been around forever on Northern, and Michelle Gardner. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. She's a couple comments there, Michelle.
Yeah. And you played with Doug McCaw that year, right? As a
I did,
single.
and Doug won that year too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Do we know? I mean, there's probably stats out there of how many people have won the gold both years. Whether, of course, yours was a mixed team at the Open, but then you won a Masters gold. How many have done in the same year?
I'm sure it's probably happened quite a bit. No,
Probably quite a few, I would think.
I would think so, but it'd be cool
for-
to see
for
that
both.
list, right?
But
National
I know in
gold, same year.
the Double Crown singles, if I remember correctly, there's only like 4 or 3, 2.
Two. Bobby Herman,
Bobby and Jen,
Jen, I think, and the same years too.
same year.
I think it was
Yeah.
the same. Yeah, it was the same year.
And which is crazy. I think there was only 2.
that have won both Masters and Open Nationals.
Yeah. And I don't like
singles.
Yeah, singles. I know out of Alberta. I know there was like, I know at one point Annette Campbell did it. Nick Campbell did it, and then
To win
Jen
both.
Baker did. Yeah, but different events, right? I have the Double Crown up here. I'm just looking.
Are
If
you
it was in the
referring?
same
You're,
year.
sa-
You've
you're
got
saying
to do
doing
that.
it in the same year, though, right?
And that was 97. Yeah.
That's an unreal year, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Weber, you got a shot this year, bud.
Yeah. Nope.
For
And Gary. Bobby Kite make the Calgary Open team? I'm looking at just our
No.
Alberta Masters now. Right? Ty.
Kite didn't make it. No. Ty can.
Tyler.
I sure hope.
singles for both.
I sure hope Ty can. That's good for me, right?
That's neat, all those little stats. But
Mm-hmm.
so then more open, obviously, talk 2009 ladies team, and then again 2011 mixed team.
But I wasn't actually on that mixed team. I was the alternate that came in that year.
So when did you come in? Into provincial?
No, I played ladies that year, and our ladies team lost at provincials. So I went to go watch Jeff, and I was the contingent's alternate.
Oh,
okay.
That's awesome.
and then you got in because
Yeah.
somebody went down at nationals.
At nationals, yeah. So day 2, the team made a decision to put the alternate in.
Crazy.
I went in. It's really hard. I think that would be super hard on who I came in for, is because you work so hard to get there and then it's taken away from you, right? Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Was it like a medical injury or something like that?
It was. So then
Okay,
you're
cool.
now having the team is sitting there trying to make a decision. And I remember being in the hotel room that day and Jeff's like, I can't be a part of this decision because it's my wife that you're making the choice on, right? Like, you guys have to decide.
And
what's
Jeff
gonna-
was on the team.
Jeff was on the team, yeah.
So it's basically run with what you have, or bring in that alternate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like completely unable to play.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
So
I mean,
I don't know. It's a tough
Oh.
call on all parts. I don't know. I've never been in a situation on a team
That was
where
Amy
someone
Fleming.
yeah.
done that.
You know, I think if it was me, and like it's hard to say because like obviously I haven't been in that situation, but I think if it's me and I know I can't play, I still want my team to win, and I think the only right thing to do is let that happen. Really,
Yeah.
as hard as that is, I mean, they're still your friends, and that you still want to see them succeed. So
Yeah.
But yeah, as much as
give
you
them
want to
best.
be there yourself and doing it with your team,
And
Yeah.
the best thing for you to the best choice for you to make for your team as a teammate is to give them the opportunity to have a player that can actually help them.
So, out of pure curiosity, and because I see you ended up winning bronze that year, did they give bronze medals to all 8? Or I guess it would have been, was it a 6-player team or 7-player team at that point?
it would have been 7 plus coach, right? Well, 6 plus than me. I
Okay.
did that one. Yeah.
And what about the other player? Or did
Yeah. No, it was my name announced and I gave it to
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
because it wasn't mine.
No, that's totally fair. That's a real good call.
So
Yeah, I was
Very good,
interested. So, like, if you go to a national and have to back out, are you essentially off the books at that point?
well, that's what I mean. I don't know if my name is
Yeah.
actually. I think I'm on there,
It
but I
is.
don't know who gets. Okay, I am. Yeah.
Well,
So-
I'm just looking at it now. It's Amy's Fleming / Crystal Hiibner.
yeah.
So it's both on there. You're probably the last one out, so that's probably where they gave you the mention, right?
Yeah, which I thought was complete. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer would be.
Yeah. Well,
I personally, I think the right thing was you're the last one in there, so that's probably why they gave you the medal. But deep down inside, I completely agree with you, Chris. I would have given that medal to them, and you did the right thing. I think. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think C5 should just make another medal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously
agreed.
you can't at the moment. I understand
Yeah,
that,
you
but
don't have to.
why wouldn't you just mail it another medal and then everyone's happy?
Yeah. Well,
Did you come in on that team and come help out, and next thing you know, you're the anchor bowler and throwing huge? Or was it just like you came in and did your part and you were part of the team, and it wasn't like you were obviously you're a big part, but you know what I mean? You remember?
I do believe that I did play decent for them, but
Oh, you'd
I'm
be a
always
horse
going to
coming
try.
into that team. Jeez.
Yeah, just wondering, you come in and you hold your own, I'm sure.
yeah. It actually looks like you play better than Jeff, so no big surprise, right?
but to Timmy, in that really odd scenario, that could sway some of the points for something like Hall of Fame.
Well, yeah, she probably got the points for Hall of Fame, so I mean, bonus for you on that aspect. But
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's tough, right? And, yeah,
I don't know how that works.
I don't think we should be worrying about her.
No,
going to
and
Hall of
not.
Fame.
I'm just kind of opening that potential can of worms down the road, right?
Well, Adam, you just turned 40, so I think you're eligible now, right? So, according to some friends of the show, right?
According
So,
to Carrie.
yeah, I wasn't saying a name. I wasn't saying a name, right?
Jim Head
I'm
here.
well over 40.
Jim Head says that you had that national record high of 55.09 for 20 games. At Nationals, was that the 2004 maybe? Yeah.
We did joke about that a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of hyphenated it. That would have been okay, I think.
Too long. That must be is he talking the Open then? I think that.
Yeah.
Was,
I think that must have been. I'm assuming that was your rookie year,
Yeah.
right?
They
you
didn't
said you averaged 275, so
That's the only year they
that
don't have the
balances
stats.
out, so-
It looks like the only year they don't have stats for it. So.
Looks like Jim Head has them, so you gotta.
that's
thanks,
awesome.
Jim.
Yeah.
Always count on him.
Nice. And then what about other Masters events that you played? Obviously, we know about the one you won the same year, 2004, but other Masters events. And, was that an opportunity? Did you get to play with other ladies in the province of Saskatchewan, or was it still pretty much mostly the girls from Saskatoon that would make the Masters team?
No, it was like across. You'd have a couple from each zone, like Regina, Saskatoon, others. I love that I got to play with Tracy Anseth one year. That was probably a big highlight for me because that's somebody that I looked up to for so many years. So then when you actually get to play with her, it's great. To be honest,
she's amazing.
Yeah. She's
And
so
like
good.
Yeah.
you just know she'd be so good on a team because she's just got to be the most patient human being ever.
Oh my gosh, so patient. And not because she's got 3 kids or grandkids. It's
No,
definitely
she's got one
person.
really big
Big
kid.
kid.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, very patient.
Yeah.
But where were the 3 nationals did you play in for Masters?
Red Deer was 05, right?
Yeah.
That would have been.
Yeah.
2007, I got a chance to try again for my singles in BC. And I did not do so well, but it was great. I played with Len, would have been the man. And then I played again in 2009 in Saskatoon on the ladies team. So 2007 was a unique year for me because at that year in fall of 2006, I moved to BC that year. But I had already played my first 2 tournaments in Saskatoon or Saskatchewan. So then I came back in March, even though I was living on the island, to play my last.
Well, that's quite the commute.
Yep.
What did you move to the island for?
Work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had just graduated from university, and that's where I took the closest, not the closest job, sorry, the job that was offered to me to get experience.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, 2009 in Saskatoon, were you there at that one?
Yes, that was the 100-year, I believe.
Right. Did you win that year?
I did, and about 9 months later, Braxton was born. I know where you're going with that.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Adam celebrated real hard.
That was a good year.
PG.
Trip stuck the landing.
That wasn't PG.
Yeah.
Actually, questions.
That's a good thing we talked about a little bit earlier. Obviously, you had to move around for your job a little bit. At one point, you actually played a year in Northern Alberta for the Open. Yes. Yeah. And actually, the team was really good. We just talked about it. Bonnie, yourself, Amber Newberger, but now it used to be Spark. Who else is on that team? Bobby Lynn Hanton, Elva Anderson, and I don't know what the other one was now.
The owner of Vermilion, right?
Oh yeah, Kim Abrams. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess what was the experience for you? It was a little bit different, probably.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. I think it was just unique that Amber happened to be she moved to go to Grand Prairie that year, and was like, "Well, are we gonna play?" Well, yeah, let's play. We did realize that I was on the cutoff for the North, living in Vegreville, not. Yeah. I guess Central. I think I would have assumed not Central. I don't know where I would have thought I would have played.
Central, yeah. It would be.
With the highway, right? If I lived on the other side of the highway, I would have been Central.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And there was a point of time where I think we were trying to convince you to get a boundary exemption to come play for Edmonton too. I'm sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess I probably could have if I commuted for a turn or a league, right? Is that how it would work as well?
Yeah.
I have to bowl a league.
You don't have to, but I think it helps your cause.
Okay, so like here, you kind of have to bowl in a league and then, say that you're playing in that center or that zone.
Yeah. So with you playing, we were talking a little bit about this beforehand, but with you playing both the Saskatchewan Open and the Alberta Open, and the Saskatchewan having the stepladder and Alberta not having the stepladder, how do you feel about like the two differences, and which do you prefer, and what are the pros and cons?
For sure, if you have a strong team and you have won every single match, having no stepladder is definitely a bonus because you just come out on top. If you're a team that you're just missing short of like a half a point, the stepladder would be nice, right? Like, we've had a lot. I think I still have in the back of my mind the last Open I did play, besides I'll be playing next weekend here. was 2015, and we came out on top, and we lost double knockout in the stepladder.
Yeah, I think that's
It
so
is
hard.
And that's what's
Still
hard
in
to
my
take.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I understand in places like Ontario where you have an abundance of zones, to have that sort of stepladder. But when you're in a position where you have 5 zones or 4 zones or whatever, why are you making it a crapshoot at the end of it? Like, you have your team that's been consistent, and I mean, yeah, you talk about like losing by half a point, so a stepladder is nice, but at the end of the day, you already had that stepladder match in, right? Like, you already had that the game before. That's how it looks to me anyway. So
Like
I think that in a 5 zone or a 4 zone system, I don't think a stepladder is necessary.
It depends on how many games decks, I think, too, right? I
You've
mean,
already proved it.
in ours, we play each zone 5 times, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot. So
We're
to
20
me,
games. So
20
clear
games.
winner at the end of 20 games. You're the winner. You don't need to
Right.
prove anything anymore.
Now I know, Crystal, you're talking about you have 12 games, so you're playing.
for the ladies this year, yeah,
So it's 3 games or 4 games a piece you play against them.
3.
So in that aspect, I'm not entirely upset about a stepladder because it's only 3 games, right? He's only playing 12. Maybe if you maybe had 5 times in there, then I would think it'd be sufficient, or even 4.
Even one more round, yeah.
Yeah.
I do get it though for those smaller zone. Like, I'm saying, going back when I was in Alberta and we had a pretty good team. I thought, we had a lot of fun. To get that opportunity to try and take it away at a stepladder would have been nice. So I get it here in Saskatchewan. We have some zones that have some women.
Yeah.
I'm going women, not just the men, but even the men's side and men's division that deserve an opportunity to go to nationals. So I guess that stepladder gives them that opportunity to maybe take it away from them.
I get that.
It does give them that chance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You can play for third. You can play for third place and still be in the stepladder and have a chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. You're not out of it by the time that day 1 is over with. Right. So I get you. I see the other side of the argument, and exactly what Jeff said. This is their only chance.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Jeff could just get better.
Yeah.
But
and by the fence you're on, right? Like, what perennially, are you a winner or are you a team that's playing for third place?
Right.
You know,
But I think for us, some of these small zones, their provincials is our national, or our provincials is nationals to them, because there might not be an opportunity for them to go there. So when that chance comes that they take it away from a bigger zone, they are excited. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's made for TV too, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? People are there to watch a spectacle on Saturday, so everybody gets there. Everybody has their drinks. Everybody wants to watch that, right? It's a little bit better. I mean, it's no different than us having a debate between Wednesday stepladder or Saturday stepladder. People would want to watch that, yeah.
And we've switched now, right? We're doing now on the Saturday is stepladder for singles.
Alberta could do it just by doing 4 round robins, and then you do the stepladder. So I mean, it could happen. I don't think that we've ever really discussed it or even brought it up, but I think most people in Alberta probably would vote to keep it the way it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in Alberta you can typically have, at least on the male side of it, there's typically the 3 top teams more often than not. I think it would be kind of a fun battle stepladder between those 3 teams every year.
But then if you have the 4th or the 5th, they could play for the stepladder. So they're playing for third place. Just get me to third.
Exactly.
So it gives them a chance to actually maybe make a run at it. As long as first place gets the double knockout, that's an absolute must.
I guess
a lot,
that double knockout.
Crystal, do you guys give out medals to second and third place?
Yeah.
See, we don't even do that in Alberta. First place gets the awards, and that's all she wrote, right? So.
Anything but first place is dead last.
Yeah, it gets cost.
But
first place doesn't get medals either, though, do they?
No,
they get plaques.
Exactly.
They get a plaque with the medal in it. I don't know. Me personally, I don't like it in Alberta. It's such a grind. That week is such a grind, and to almost nullify that grind by putting it in a stepladder, it just seems like so much work for not necessarily a lot of reward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Just my thought.
What do you think from a Masters?
Yeah, if I was from a different zone that I couldn't, go up against the powerhouses, I'd maybe be advocating for a step ladder.
No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely, I totally agree.
Yeah, I think until you go in another zone, such as North, right? When I came to North Alberta,
Yeah.
And being with Bonnie, like you just think about Bonnie and what she's capable of doing, and very rarely will you see her because the chance of, unless singles comes around, right, for her, the team is hard to get.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Crystal, I don't know. Out here, we moved about since 2014. Most of our times for our provincials, we put the singles on Wednesday. You bowl them all now and do the step ladder
On the Wednesday. So
Everything
what we used to do.
Yeah. So Bonnie, I mean, like, no offense to anybody, but Bonnie's like, perfect. I know where I'm sitting after the Wednesday. I'll have my fun after, right? So, so she knows what she's getting herself into, right?
Whereas now we switched. Where now singles will be, the final will be on Saturday after the team.
Yeah. And I'm indifferent.
Still love it. On Saturday. Still love it.
Scheduling wise, I like it on a Wednesday. Team wise, I like having the extra games on Saturday because you can go on runs a little bit more. For singles wise, as a player, I've lost both to Adam, so it doesn't really matter to me at this point.
It makes it better for the tournament to have it more games as a team on Saturday because you're not there's no teams out of it on Friday anymore, right? With 7 or 8 games to go, there's still very rarely you got a team that's completely out of it. Even if you're 20 points back, you're still in it.
Yeah.
You can go on that long run, right?
But as for like the spectacle, having the singles step ladder on Saturday is so much better, just because you have everybody there and you have everybody drinking already, and everybody's
atmosphere is incredible.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to everything.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
For the team wise though, I definitely love having more games on Saturday for sure.
I would like to bowl more games than the 3.
Yeah.
I just had always thought, like, I'm coming from YBC and you're like, oh, I got to throw 21 games, right? I think back then it was like 21 games and you're like, a little 10-year-old throwing 21 games. And I come up into like adults and I was like, I only have to play 12, 15. Come on.
It doesn't seem like enough.
It didn't seem like enough, right? Like I wanted the challenge for more.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, didn't that happen at Nationals at 1.2? Like recently, where there was less zones?
Oh, like less games.
For I'm pretty sure there's less games for one of the divisions than the others too.
Oh, well, I mean, with Manitoba only having a mixed team, there could be a bye. I think it'd be a bye for the men and ladies then.
Yeah.
It all depends on them, right? All the rest of the provinces have something, so you could be a bye, or maybe there might be no bye. Depending, I have to look at the numbers, right? But yeah, there's one less game for men and ladies right now.
Yeah, I thought it affected one division more than others for some reason, but
yeah, mixed team usually has more, right? Because Northwest Territories in there too, right? Yeah, because they don't have a men's team or ladies.
Let's switch over to some of the cash tournaments or TSN, CBCs, that type of stuff. Crystal, exciting times back when there was TSN and CBCs, and I know you got to play in a couple of them. So, how are those for you?
Great. I enjoyed TSN. I think it was 2001 was my first. I don't know if there was an age limit at first. I can't remember playing it, but I remember Mom's like, yeah, we're going to go to, I think it was Rosetown at the time. You're going to play so many games. And I ended up making it out of our, like the North zone because they had a North and then the South, right?
Right.
And
nice.
Holy, I had a wonderful coach actually in seniors that prepared me for TSN. As much as you can prepare somebody to be on television, he would set up like lights, distractions. He put like on like a set of lanes, barricades because he said once you get there, right, the audience is going to be
Amazing.
right up beside you to the foul line. Lights just beaming on me where I'm like sweating, dead summer, that sort of thing. He prepared me for what I was going to do.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he would. I mean, I'm sure you guys have you been to bowling school?
Was it Tom?
Spider.
No, Spider.
Yeah.
Spider definitely had all the drills.
Who is Spider? Do I know Spider?
Ken Grischuk? No.
Spider was responsible for pretty much like the stereotypical like Saskatchewan ladies.
Are you sure?
What? No, or who was?
I don't know. He was not my coach. He wasn't my coach until I was a senior.
No, I mean that really low lunge that a lot of the Saskatchewan ladies.
But but he didn't coach me until I was like 13.
Do you have that really low lunge as well? Oh, who did you get that from?
Well, I'm gonna assume it would have been my bantam coach. But where did she get it from? Maybe from him. I don't know.
there was
but you're
so
right.
many ladies.
There is a typical sort
there
of.
Is.
Right.
Yeah.
Get down low. Big long reach.
Yeah. Hey, it's worked for us.
But that's awesome.
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Spider was influential on the setup of TSN. I think that's awesome that somebody took the time to prepare you for an event like that.
Yeah, I was definitely. Well, you're nervous, right? Because I don't know, being on TV for one, and playing some women. I think when I finally got the package, it's like you're playing Karen Bourne. I was like, oh my, I know who that is. Right? Like your mind kind of goes like, that's Jeff's wife. Holy crap. Like, what am I going to do? So you kind of, that's when I said I early on started realizing I can't think about the opponent. I got to think about myself. And so he worked with my mental game definitely before going into there. And I think I did hold the record. I don't know if, it doesn't play anymore for the high game. That first year.
Looks like 371.
Yeah.
So you were you in YBC then?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been 16 turning 17 that year.
Wow.
And I remember because the game before, the preliminary round before was Helene. And Helene had just come off shooting the record score. And I don't recall, I believe the record like 369 or something like that. And I was like, oh, wow, I have an opportunity to play that woman. And then I had my match 15 minutes later and I shot 371. So then her and I went to go play in the next round. And I remember them being like, oh, I wonder what these ladies are going to do. They're going to either come off shooting really, really high or really, really bad.
Good old Vic router.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
There's got to be some footage. There's got to be some footage of that, hey?
There is, yeah. I definitely remember that match. I punched a 3-pin in 10 to lose to her.
Oh, no.
And so then that's what led me to 2004 Masters Nationals. I got to play her Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that moment still on your mind?
Yep.
Nice.
not
forget.
necessarily that moment, but just
Sure.
knowing that I can lose just as easily as I can win.
Yep.
And to the same person, right?
Totally.
So I met Helene that year, and that was I took so much off of her, as well as like the competitiveness, as well as just the fierceness on the lane, and then the sweetness off the lane.
She is amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
And I wanted that. I wanted to be able to, the moment my foot stepped on the approach, I was a completely different person than what I was going to be coming off the lane, as you knew me, right? So.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah, and then the next year, 2002, I was able to go again, because I do believe you just automatically get the chance to go to the round, right? I can't remember how that works.
Yeah, you get to go to
I
provincials.
thought the champion went back.
But I think you got I didn't have to play the zone round. I got to go straight to the north.
Straight to okay.
Right? How that worked, I think. And then that's when I went right to the final and I lost to Joanne Blades from Nova Scotia.
Crazy.
Still very impressive.
Yeah, it's insane. Especially at that age. And to handle those pressures at that age is incredible. I mean, obviously your YBC resume shows that you handled pressure very well at that age, but that's incredible.
So it's still kind of fearless at that age, though, too, right?
Yeah.
Like you know these names that are out there, but you're also playing like you got nothing to lose.
I did. I mean that year then I also met Karen Armstrong, and that's who I came. That was my first match was her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember watching her at cash tournaments. And again, another competitive, fierce lady on the lanes, but a different person off the lane, and I love that, right? Like that's
absolutely.
You know, you would ask one time like why women what they need, and it is confidence. And my mentors for women exuded that. But when they were off the lanes, they weren't the same woman on the lanes.
Totally.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely agree. Tim's just over there giggling.
I don't know. I'm just looking at Daryl right now.
Yeah.
I keep kicking in and out. My internet keeps stopping.
I thought it was the special stuff you had before.
No, I'm at the office, and I don't know, like, why would you think that I'm only one here? And all of a sudden, it's at like 9 o'clock at night, and my Wi-Fi's kicking out, and I got staff all day. I don't know. That's weird.
Okay.
The ghosts.
But yeah, I guess that's sort of what we brought up in one of my questions with you. Growing up, Crystal Orangechuck was a name synonymous with excellence with all your youth accolades. I know you would never see it that way, but being a role model for all youth bowlers, what are some words of wisdom you could give them?
For youth?
Yeah. Or ladies. I mean, it's the same thing.
I think for me now, like, I mean, I think you've mentioned quite a bit, like, oh, you don't play anymore, kids, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you think it was kids, but it wasn't. It was my career that I was focused on those years that there's a gap for me. I was so focused on, I finished university, now I got to get my career in order here. And now kids are a different thing. But back then, I had all the time to go to the lanes and put my time in. I put what I was given naturally, and I worked hard to make it where it was. Now I have to work on the mental toughness and the emotional toughness, whereas maybe in the youth it came naturally. Right? As an adult, I have way more things juggling on my plate than just, hey mom, are you gonna put me in this tournament? Like,
yeah.
It's a difference. So I guess for youth right now, what you want to work on is building on the foundation. Whenever you got a moment, get to the lanes and don't just throw games. Do drills.
Yeah.
Don't just hit the middle. Shoot at your corners, that sort of thing. I mean, after you get that, you do need to work on your mental and emotional toughness. Playing other sports, that definitely helps. Don't just work on one sport. Multiple sports help.
Absolutely. In the long-term athlete development, they speak very highly of being a multi-sport athlete.
Yep.
Right? I mean,
I played competitive volleyball. I mean, I was on club volleyball since grade 4 on till grade 12. So, I mean, there was times that I had to make a choice between a volleyball tournament and a bowling tournament. Most of the time I would choose bowling because it gave me cash.
yeah. Totally.
But it's true. But yeah, I mean, another one I think people need to focus at a young age is teamwork. As much as this can be an individual sport, your team support and your family support is huge. It builds on empathy and can, like, I don't know, self-esteem, definitely.
Yeah. 100%. As much as people don't see bowling as a team sport, it's almost more of a team sport than some of the other ones, because it's not just, I mean, there's just so much communication and there's so much emotional support needed 100% of the time, as opposed to, you're on a soccer pitch and you're in net, your buddy is over, playing forwards. You are tight knit and close, and every shot matters all the time, and there's constant communication. And I think that's where it makes it really tough, and it's so important.
There's so much of like a leadership role that every single individual in that pit can bring to that team, right?
Mm-hmm.
They usually have that one or two kind of people that people are looking towards as a leader, but every single person, when they get up there, they can be the next leader on that team and have basically all those positive vibes just filter down. Yeah. And the one thing I definitely got from your first message there, Crystal, is just how important the mental side of especially the competitive game is. Talent really only brings you so far. You do have to work on the game, the drills. When you do go out there for a practice session, have have a pure game plan, right? The scores themselves really don't give you the full picture of what you're trying to achieve. So if you are going there, and then you'll start building the mental game every single practice shot, right? The more you succeed in practice, the more you will succeed on league night or tournament time. But that mental game, especially getting into some of these cash tournaments, I bet you we're probably 90% is mental now.
It is. Because your body knows, right? Like over repetition, your body just knows what to do. But your mind, it's so easy to have a negative thought just enter. And if you can't get a positive thought to replace that, you're going to your mental game shot. And that's what I'm not struggling with, but that's what I'm working on. And it's helping that Kenley is at the age where she has all the drills are set for swimming, but she needs to believe in herself, and she needs to have that confidence to just be that, I don't know, not kill. I couldn't say killer. That's not the word, but she needs to get past that confidence now to say, you know what, I got it. I got this. My body knows what to do, but I got to believe in myself.
How do you do that though? Do you read books? Do you listen to podcasts? What is the training methods instead of just tell yourself positive self-talk?
It's
more
mindfulness.
Than that.
It's definitely mindfulness. So right now we do work with her as well as it's helping me mindfulness. The biggest thing I did learn that it's so easy to have a negative thought enter. So let's say I'm up there and I'm on 4 in a row and I hear Adam pop a head pin and I'm like, oh my God, I just heard that. That's the only thing my brain's going to focus on for so long, rather than just saying, Crystal, you got this. Down and out, right? Just something else positive. It's amazing.
But how do you get that training? Is there a big manual of mental, success-driven logic, mental training for the successful 5-pin bowler? These are the steps to success, not just, what do you think?
Experience
manual,
experience. Everyone's so different though. That's just it, right? And Timmy's hit it right on the head. It's that experience of being in that moment and that's why we tell these kids, you got to get out to these tournaments, and you've got to play. You have to gain that experience, because that's the only way you're going to get through that mental block the next time you're in that moment.
I think we need a resource manual or something on what are the specifically different books that you've read that are good on your your mental game. What are the videos that some people have watched? What are the whatever it is, what are the techniques that everybody's done in order to do it, rather than just saying, oh, you guys, there's got to be more to it.
It is true. I mean, we had Perry on here, and Perry mentioned a book I never read it, but he portrayed it to me, but you had that on YouTube, right? It was positive self-talk, right?
I did,
positive self, and that's a huge thing. There's avenues out there. Experience is big, and it's a matter of, I think we all can agree, when we're playing an event, we're probably more tired mentally than we are physically, right? And 9 times out of 10, if you're that tired for that stuff, you've done a good job that weekend.
You're totally right. It just becomes an energy, thing in your body, right?
Yeah.
Crystal, like you said, like we could all throw the same ball over and over and over. There's just an energy that's different, or it's off, or you let that head pin in, or you subconsciously you don't even know that it's happening, but it's happening. So if you can train yourself to control those, then the less likely that those happen.
Yeah.
And I think when you would ask, like, for women, I think I said it before, is women are afraid to be competitive. I think it's like they have it in them. There's so many competitive, but as soon as they get that little bit extra of aggressiveness, we're viewed differently. In some, like, oh well, she's a bag, she's this, she's that, right? Rather than be competitive. It's okay to be competitive. It's okay to get a little upset at yourself, maybe even your teammate, like, be competitive.
Yeah. Do you know, honestly, I think of the opposite. I don't think it's a bag thing. I find it more impressive. And I will say this, I don't I remember, like, obviously we talked about the books, Crystal. I want to maybe make your head swell a little bit here, but I remember when I was 18 years old, first time going to Autumn Open, and you made the 16s, and I watched you throughout the whole time, and I think you're the only lady in there, maybe Tracy was, and I saw two powerful and assertive ladies with fiery attitudes, and not overly like not cocky or anything like that. And I thought it was super impressive. Not just ladies looking at you as role models. I looked at you as a role model because I thought it was so impressive out there. And you have generational talents out there, but most of the ladies out there, you look at Karen Armstrong, you look at Jen Smith, you look at yourself. There's other ladies out there I'm not naming off, but those are the ones that are always at the top tier because they have the confidence, they have that, but they also know how to portray themselves properly too, right? And
that's why for every 1-2 women that you see in a top 32, though, why isn't there more? And I'm going, that's probably the reason why, is they're afraid to be and women are more afraid to be worried about somebody else and what they think of. You guys tease each other and razz each other. Women are a little bit different when it comes to razzing and teasing. They do carry themselves in a way of, oh, someone's watching me, or that sort of thing. So I do think when I say it's okay to be competitive, I'm speaking to the women that are just on the verge of a breakthrough, like verge of coming huge games.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's impressive, right? And I think we all can learn that not just ladies but men on both aspects. And encourage ladies. I wish there was a way of getting the ladies to feel confident. I don't know if there's an avenue for us to do that. It's tough, right? I don't know. I don't.
You said it though. It comes with experience, right? Yeah. It does come with putting yourself in positions that give you that opportunity to show your confidence and then be competitive as well, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think we've seen the kind of a network of the high end competitive lady bowlers trying to get together and trying to push the community and trying to push some of those females to come to that next level. I know it's always been out there, but now it seems to be like out there. Right, and like you have Karen and Melissa and Tracy and Chelsea and all these very predominant ladies in the sport that are really trying to push the level of the female bowler and try to get some of the females playing more, number one, but get them over that hump, right? Which is exactly what we all need in this sport.
Right, but then that's where I want to view them as just a bowler, not a woman.
Fair, but there's always going to be that stigma based on numbers.
It is, right? But I've always joked and I've teased Jeff, like, you guys brought in the ladies invitational, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I play ladies. I think I'd want a chance at that other invitational.
And honestly, Crystal, that is the attitude we want. That is. And we need to make it clear again that the invitational was never a male invitational. It was never, and we were approached to start a ladies invitational to get more ladies involved. 100%. And I think that's great. But I think there's so many of those ladies that should just be playing the main event.
Yeah, because I do believe Jen played it, right? Though she just
Jen
played
Clark
the main
did.
one.
Yeah,
And I was
She
like,
played. She played. Jen Baker did. Yeah.
Baker, yeah. And I was like, good for you, lady. Like that's the way you belong as a bowler. You know, you at that. You know.
Yes,
I
we've
think
talked about this lots, but yes,
I think
completely
it
agree.
actually does something different. Like the ladies are there to showcase strong ladies or ladies for people to look up to, or just showcase the ladies. But when there's a lady in the $1,000 one, it actually exemplifies that person, right? And it really showcases that lady in there. And if anything, for those ladies that are listening, I think it does more when they play the $1,000 because I think any lady can belong, but it just showcases them a little bit more, especially
and the confidence to play amongst that group too. Like you belong here, right? Nobody's laughing at you. You belong here, so you just feel good being like I am one of you because I'm playing with you.
Yeah.
Was it like a sense of like segregation when that all kind of came through? Was that ever crossed your guys' mind when you were setting up that ladies' night?
No, and well, I'm going to say no, but that's because it was ladies that were pushing to have it. So it was never, like I said, it was absolutely never meant to be that way. So I never felt that way because it was ladies that were wanting to start it, and it's been successful that way.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't feel it was in a segregation sort of way. I don't know.
No, I don't think it was either. I don't, because you are getting women out there that I think could do the bowling side.
No, you're absolutely right. And coming to the main event, which is something that we struggle to get a large number of ladies to come to these events. And it does bring those ladies in, and then they do play in the main events where they should be playing anyways because they are good enough to be there. More than good enough to be there. So it is nice that way where we are starting to get more ladies involved in the actual WCBT events because of events like that. So yeah.
I agree.
Pros and cons.
Always.
Pros and cons.
Always everything.
Yeah. Well, is there anything?
Yeah, one of the coolest thing though I think in recent years is the 2009 I think it was top 100 of all time.
Yeah.
And Crystal, you were named to that list at a very young age of 24 to already be named one of the best of all time, and absolutely well deserved. But what a very cool honor. Where did you receive the news that you were on that list?
It was in Saskatoon, my hometown.
That's amazing.
At the Nationals, of course, right?
Yeah, I was at Nationals, so it was great. My sister was on mixed team, so she was there. My brother was the head JOP, and my parents, right? So it was nice that I totally unexpected. I was not expecting it at all. I think I was pretty shocked when I heard my name because again, you kind of put stuff with that with age.
Yep.
And I think I have a lot of years left. That's all I think I kept saying is like, wait a minute, I got way more I want to add to my belt, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But still pretty cool to receive at the time.
Thanks. Yeah, it was.
Speaking of more, what's left on the bucket list?
Well, provincials are next weekend. I would love the opportunity to make it to Newfoundland for nationals on the ladies team. As well, I would love the opportunity to be singles.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because that doesn't happen very often.
No.
You know, and so when you get that chance, you're going to try and take it. I mean, I look at Tracy and seeing her post after I'm going masters now. Oh my gosh, how incredible, and also like shocking a little bit, right? Because her name is, for me, way up there. And I'm going, 21 years it took you? Oh my gosh, that just shows the caliber of women in Alberta, though, right? Like that just shows what the women in Alberta are capable of.
So it was really neat. In 2010, we Tim and I, we were rookies at nationals for the Open, and we ended up winning. But the really neat thing about that was we ended up winning with Diane Violini as the single, and that was the only thing left for her to win. And she hadn't made it, and she hadn't won nationals until 2010 as a single for the Open.
That's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. So just keep playing.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, never give up. Never give up attitude. I guess is there. Holy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How many master singles does she have? It's like 5 or 6.
Oh, I can't even remember.
Quite a few.
You're talking about for not championships?
Yeah, for on that Double Crown.
Diane has 6.
6 before getting that one, right?
So is it though
Crazy.
because of the match play is different with Open versus Masters is like games played?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, match play versus she has to play. Was it 30 games or 24 games or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. I mean the Masters is just a beacon of consistency, and that's definitely Diane. Whereas the Open is who gets hot for that day, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're
So,
right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm excited for provincials next weekend.
yeah.
And it's next
That's
weekend
awesome.
for you in Saskatchewan, not Easter weekend.
No, we're back off that one. That's a few years ago we stopped that, so I'm excited. It's been a while.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. We're looking forward to seeing the stats.
Like
Yeah.
good for you. Yeah, I finally
That wasn't
Give the
meant to
boys
sound
something to talk
condescending.
awesome.
Well, that wraps up our show.
Yeah. Hey, we should definitely thank yourself for the all the mugs and glasses and all that stuff that you've donated to the Regina Classic Top 32 over the past few years.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
And I know all those glasses, and we had a water bottle one year. I use it basically every day at work, and this year's it doesn't look like I drink water or eat vegetables, but I do a lot of the other stuff. No, I absolutely love it. It's that one little perk that making those top 32. Just gives that extra little gift. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I honestly do think about that, trying to make the top 32.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. I think that it's a nice little memento.
Well, that's what I said. It had from the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
I know now that I can tell you I was at the Rose Bowl of 2001.
Yeah.
Now, anyone can tell me, was it given to everyone that played, or just if you made top something?
I think for those ones, it used to be anybody who entered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you if I made it or not.
You could have just lied to her, man.
No, that's why you show top 32 on your designs.
Yeah. So if you want to check her out, I think it's Hiibner Designs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hiibner Designs. Yeah, she has a lot of great stuff on there.
Aw, thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Well, do we have any other topics we want to talk about, or are we wrapping this up?
I'm good. I'm being careful. I don't know if I'm going to freeze up here, so I'm just trying to sit in a good spot. So if I freeze up, I just stay in a good spot. So it doesn't look funny. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Crystal, thank you so much for coming on. We cannot thank you enough. It took a little bit of convincing. You speak so well. You're such a great mentor for this game. You're such a great mentor to the ladies and a great mentor to the bowlers. Thank you for what you do for this game. Absolutely. We're lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me on. I mean,
yeah.
with a lot of poking from Tim, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't that bad, was it?
No, it wasn't that. I mean, for me, it was definitely just, again, I have confidence on the lane. Confidence off the lane is a little different.
For sure. Yeah,
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know any different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smooth.
So we're gonna put you in the back room. You're more than welcome to stick around, and we could chat after if you're wanting to. But once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
That was great.
Awesome.
She was
So,
awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
Totally well deserving of the top 100, even at 24, and cool to see what her future career looks like now, getting back into it and being competitive and knocking off some bucket lists. It's going to be an even better resume by the time she's done, I'm sure.
ridiculously humble as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
She knows how good she is. You can tell, right? But like most of the greats out there, just does not push her own game above others. It's truly incredible.
on one hand, her kids will start to get older and require more attention at some of these events, but also they'll be able to separate and let mom go do her thing when she's got a tournament and an event, because they don't necessarily need mom to hold their hand and be there every step of the way, right? Might be able to go with friends or different things or stuff. So, interesting to see where it'll go for her career for sure.
She's always been so good. She's been so good to have around. Just such a wonderful, supportive person too. Even for people she doesn't like really know all that well. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't know her all that great, but I got to play on a set with her at TPC, and I shot a 435, and she was the person that was right behind me the whole time, just chatting with me, and it was it's just a wonderful experience. And she's just great. Good
job, Tim. Finally got her on.
I do have to thank Jeff for taking care of the kids. I do have to thank him for that.
Maybe let's hope they're still alive.
Like, hey, when's my turn? As long as I get my turn on this podcast at some point. Hey,
I never actually. That was not part of negotiation. So tough luck, Jeff.
All right, so we'll do the draw here. We have a whopping 14 entries.
Everybody go check out the Youth Challenge website, C5 Nationals. Go and check out the stats. Support the young players that are playing this weekend.
Do they have live streams going? Do we know? Oh, jeez. Are you
kidding? Well, maybe that wasn't a negotiation. All right.
I don't think there's live streams going on, Tim.
There could be. I think Annette was working on that, so I honestly don't know. Okay. But I think they're working on something down there. So
where are they being held, Tim?
Chinook. It's gonna be held in Chinook. It's gonna be on the C5 website, so check it out. It starts tomorrow. Everybody's traveling today. So yeah, I'm excited to watch. There's some really good young players down there. So if you're in the area, make sure you go stop by.
Yeah, or post about it and share some info. Good to see our youth bowlers put their plan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. That was really enjoyable. It was a good
well done,
show.
Dex.
It was a good show. Thanks to All Star Bowling Schools for once again sponsoring all the things we do. Thanks to all our Patreon members, and hope you guys have a good week. We'll see you next week. Who do we have on next, Tim?
Brad Rusnak.
Perfect. Awesome.
Rusnak.
5 PL action this weekend, Sunday morning.
Yes.
Week 15.
That's right.
Daryl gets a play because I think Maddie's out.
Aaron's out. Was Matt out too?
Well, yeah. Matt's at a competitive coaching clinic, so
am I.
Oh,
Ashura Park, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we already told the instructor we're bowling in our first match on 9:00 on Sunday morning.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Okay,
so they'll use that as whatever. But we're only playing for an hour, right? So then we'll be back in the clinic.
Perfect. Okay, well there we go. Bombers are gonna be playing.
Perfect.
Emergency spares. Can we pre-record this? What do we need to do here?
Exactly. Yeah. Let's not get into it. Let's not get.
Good luck, Daryl.
Play well, guys. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Yeah.